Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Tori. If you're new here, I'm coming to you late night once again. All the babies are asleep and I wanted to talk to you about some things that I have been stocking up on and some things that I really focused on this week. We are going into a season of sickness. We are going into a season of the unknown. So I feel like it's important to be prepared in the event of an emergency. And we're doing this all on a budget. That is what this channel is all about. So if you are new here, I would love it if you hit the subscribe button and became part of our YouTube family. We are a good time and I promise I have some good content coming your way. First things first, I do need to address something. It has been a while since I have responded to negativity on the channel, but I do want to address this. I know 99% of you have my back on this, but I have been getting an influx of comments just telling me that I talk too much. So I have a lot to say about that. I have been told that before in my lifetime. So I will say my mind has always been busy. It has been a challenge for me to get to the point. And now being an adult, I have tried to hone in on where I want to go with my conversations. And I'm also a stay-at-home mom. So oftentimes me talking to you is my idea of a conversation. My husband is in law enforcement. So what I'm trying to say is I don't really get out much. So if I am talking too much for you, I perhaps may not be the channel for you. You don't need to comment that. It's actually incredibly hurtful when I read those comments. And I know, again, 99% of you are so positive and supportive of me. So I appreciate all of the kind comments, but I do have to remind you that YouTube is a long form content social media site. So you really need to keep that in the back of your mind when you're saying to someone not to talk for a long time. Short form content would be the best bet for you. So maybe TikTok or Instagram Reels, Facebook, YouTube Shorts would be a really good one. But I am in a long form content little social hub here. So I feel like I'm able to speak for 8 to 10 minutes and that should be allowed. And if you do have a problem with that, instead of just typing a negative comment, perhaps just scroll on by or click off. It's so easy and I promise it won't upset your day. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, I just needed to get that off my chest because I've been getting that comment a ton. But anyways, I wanted to stock up on a few items that I use to detox my system, some items that I use to make my immune system a little stronger, and some items to aid in any ailments that we may have this winter and spring season coming up. If you've been on the channel a while, you know that my husband and I differ in our opinions when it comes to pharmaceuticals. And I will say there's a time and a place for pharmaceuticals. There's a time and a place for medical intervention, but I feel like we lean on it, we depend on it way too much. So if you are dependent on any medical interventions, please don't take this video in a negative way. I am just trying to show you some ways to use an alternative, healthier way to your modern medicine. I am not a doctor. I am just a girl who treated her body like crap for a very long time and have been recovering ever since. First thing that I got was Arnica flower. I did not, let me see if it will focus. Let me get out. Did it work? I did not grow this in the garden this year, but I have in the past, and this was harvested, and all you have to do is put it in a tea, and it's supposed to help with joint health, but I do not use it in tea form. What I like to do is melt it into a salve, so the process itself takes around 2 months, so I've already started mine on my countertop around 2 months ago, and what I do is infuse it into an oil, and then I mix that oil with the beeswax, and I rub it onto my knees, my joints, really anything that's bothering me. I have shared in the past that I have osteochondritis dissecans in my knees, and it's a hard thing to wrap my head around, but essentially it's like an early onset arthritis is my understanding. And I had surgery on my knee when I was 15. I was a gymnast for most of my life, so I thought maybe that's why I had this, but it turns out it's genetic. So that, was something that I had to deal with. And Arnica gel is very common, and you could use that, but definitely check the ingredients. This is something that you can make at home, so it will be much cheaper, and you will know what these ingredients are because you will be making it with your own hands. So I suggest picking up some dried Arnica. It is shelf stable, and it's just great to have on hand. I will link everything that I have down in the description box, and I will try and get it to you in easy links like Amazon or something like that, not some obscure website. So Arnica is a good one. And I will say the seeds that I always talk about, Arnica is in that seed packet. You get over 2,000 seeds for $49.99, I believe. They are heirloom, non-GMO, and they are always my favorite link down in the description below. And if you click on it, you are supporting my family. So I appreciate you there. Next on the list, I got Waltham 29 broccoli. These are heirloom, non-GMO microgreen sprouts. And microgreens are amazing for you. They are high in vitamin K. They are high in fiber. So that makes them really great for your blood pressure. I know a lot of us have talked about it. I've had conversations with some of you about this problem that you may have, and I believe microgreens in your diet could help you with this. Again, I'm not a doctor, but microgreens are easy to put into things, to sneak into things. You don't have to directly eat them or anything like that, but they're great on a BLT. Add them to that. They're great in a smoothie. They are easy to put on top of your eggs or even in them, but they're easy to hide. My kids really enjoy it, and I am a sneaky vegetable mom. I try and sneak in vegetables and fruits when I can, but honestly, my kids do enjoy fruits and vegetables, so that's not a problem. But microgreens are really great for your system, and they're easy to keep shelf stable. So I like to take a few, sprinkle on some soil, and sprout them throughout the winter. No, it is not eating seasonally, but I do enjoy fresh items during the cozy season as well. So microgreens are great. Those are super inexpensive, and you can also find them in that seed packet as well. Next on my list is going to be castor oil, and us mamas might know a thing or two about castor oil. Castor oil is said to induce labor. I would not suggest doing that. I'm just saying that is where I first heard about castor oil. I know a lot of women in the past have used this to oil pool, but you could also use coconut oil for that, and that's when you just swish around about a tablespoon or so and then spit the oil out, not into your sink because that would do damage to your plumbing system, but spit the oil out after about a minute or two, whatever you can stand, and that is said to get the toxins out of your system. Not all of them, of course, but it is helpful. So that's when I first heard about it. But recently, castor oil has been really amazing if you put it around your neck or your abdomen, and then you cover that with some sort of flannel material. I was talking to someone about this, Dawn, I believe it was you. I apologize if it wasn't, but I do have a lot of these castor oil packs, and I use them when I'm not feeling my best self, or maybe I've taken a week or two and I haven't really thought about what I was going to put in my system. So I ate a greasy pizza, or maybe I drank one too many drinks. I don't know. It's just little things like that that can add up, and they really stick in your system. It's not like they're going to leave within a day. So castor oil really helps pull those toxins out. I've heard of people putting it in their belly button and it pulls the toxins out, but it really depends on what you're comfortable with. Castor oil, when using it as a detoxifier, can have some negative side effects. I've had it happen to me once, but not all the time, and it just makes you feel flu-like flu-like symptoms because you're drawing all those toxins out. So I promise you, you will start to get better, and you just need to ease your body into it. So castor oil is something I always have on hand, and I like to put it on my neck and or abdomen when I'm just not feeling my best self. I have talked about it in the past, and you can see it kind of be highlighted right here. A lot of people have asked me to get my thyroid checked out, and it did scare me into getting it checked out. So I've had it checked out, but having 3 babies hormonally does this to some women. So I've been using castor oil to reduce this little bump here on my neck, and I have noticed a difference, but I have not seen it go away completely. So that's another use for castor oil. But again, this is going to be super, super cheap, shelf stable, and you can keep it throughout the winter whenever you're needing that extra cleanse of your system. Next on my list is vitamin E oil, another very inexpensive oil. I get mine at Natural Grocers, and this is just a skin nutrient. I like to keep this on my face. It is said to help out with dark spots. If you do not wear sunscreen like myself, you may find yourself with some dark spots. So vitamin E is really helpful, but it's all over body nourishment. So it's great for those winter months when your skin is just feeling extra dry. I talk about being from the East Coast all the time, and I did not know this moving to Colorado, but it is very dry here. There's not a lot of humidity here. So in the winter months, I feel that extra pull at my skin. So having vitamin E oil on hand is really helpful. In an emergency situation, do you need vitamin E oil? No, but I will say it's very soothing for the winter months, and I think everyone should keep it on hand just because of its ability to be so shelf stable. I mean, for years and years and years. So vitamin E oil, put it on your list. It's super budget friendly. It's also on sale at Natural Grocers right now if you have one, but you can always look in my description box. I will link it for you. Next on my list, I got some Castile soap, and I wanted to do a video of things I no longer prep. And I think that will be coming up here in a few weeks. And this will be in the video because I no longer prep shampoos, soaps, or anything like that because I have Castile soap. You can also use this as dish soap. You can use it as laundry soap. I wouldn't do it every single day because, again, it's not the best for your plumbing. A lot of people get the ratios down wrong when you're trying to dilute this product. You can't just straight up put this in your sink and expect it to be okay. You need to dilute this at all costs, like very, very small micro doses. So I get different kinds. This one is the 18-in-1 hemp eucalyptus, and I like to use this for household things. Sometimes I use it in my bath, but I really enjoy Castile soap, and Dr. Bronner's is a semi-great company. They've done some things recently that I'm not like too big of a fan of, and I did want to just talk about that quickly. When I am looking at being a consumer, it is so hard for me. I don't know about any of you, but morally, I want to support companies that have the same values as me, but it's very, very hard to do. And oftentimes I am looking at the ingredients and if that is going to be good for my family or not. I talk about it often. I even joke about it that they're trying to poison us. And I don't think it's a joke. I don't find it funny, but I will say, I mean, with everything, food, water, our air, our media, they just don't have our best interests at heart. And it's hard. It really is hard. I recently saw that the powers that be told us that we shouldn't worry about a food shortage. And if the last few years have shown us anything, then that means not to trust the government. And I feel like all of us are kind of in that together, but there are some people that still comment on the channel or comment on my Instagram like laughing at me, and I am now confident enough in this preparedness journey that I can laugh at them, but it's just been very tricky. I don't know if any of you are feeling that. I didn't really articulate that well in the last, minute or two, but it's been very hard lately to find companies that I want to support. There are companies out there that make only American-made products and they try and have your best interests at heart, but I don't want to join an MLM, and oftentimes that's what it is. I've had a company reach out to me and I'm not even allowed to say what the company is, and they wanted me to tell you guys all about their phenomenal company. And yes, they had great values, but I wasn't even allowed to mention the name of the company to you, and I just found that like very odd. So it made me feel salesy, and I never want you to get that from my channel. So again, trying to keep it short and sweet has been impossible lately, but I did want to mention that it's okay to still shop at those big box companies. I oftentimes say on the channel, I'm 80-20. I try and be 80% just gung-ho, everything's good for us. But then there's 20% of me that finds it really hard to do that, especially when you're on a budget. So I do want you to know that if you see anything on this list here and you're screaming in your head, Tori, don't buy that, it's toxic. Tori, don't buy that, this company did this. I probably am aware of it, and I'm doing my best just like any of you. All right, last but not least, I got ingredients to make a detox bath. And you may have heard of detox baths before, but this is my own recipe. I have developed it over the years when I, worked a lot. I worked very long hours. I worked 3 jobs and I just wasn't taking care of myself. So I got sick all the time. So this detox bath is key. You're gonna need vinegar. Picked up a big jug. They're on sale at Kroger this week, at least until Sunday for me. I don't know about your area. Epsom salts. I already made this detox bath. If you didn't know, I made it in bulk. So Epsom salt. Ground ginger, and then you're going to need bentonite healing clay and or charcoal. Charcoal is very hard to clean out of a white shower, so I would not suggest using a lot of it, but it is a detoxifier. So if you sit that in your bath with yourself as hot as you can get it and get it all the way up to your neck, you will notice yourself start to sweat within 10 minutes or so. That can be very annoying, so you have to work yourself up to it, but I like to stay in the detox bath for at least 20 minutes. I always have 2 mugs of 32-ounce ice cold water next to me at all times, and I am trying to drink while I'm doing that. I'm trying to replenish myself because you are sweating out toxins. You are sweating out whatever is in your system that needs to leave. It's an exorcism of toxins is what a friend told me when I first started doing this. So you need to sweat all of that out. When you get out of the bath, it might be a little much and you might get lightheaded, so I will warn you about that, but keep drinking water and just allow yourself to rest. I know that is easier said than done. I am a busy mom of 3 and sometimes there's not a lot of time to take a detox bath, but I make it a priority because I have seen such a significant difference in my mental state as well as my physical state after I do these baths. So I got all of those ingredients and I put them in a mason jar and I put about 2 scoops of it into my bath, like I said, with some hot water. I will drop all of the ingredients down in the comment box. If you cannot access the comment box, just email me at mountainmommaliving@gmail.com. Alrighty friends, that is going to do it for today's video. I know it was a bit lengthy, but please remember you are on a long form content social site. So I appreciate every single one of you. You don't even understand. It's just been such a really wonderful outlet for me to chat along with some people that are like-minded and some people that are not. I want to assure you I am welcoming all different walks of life on this channel, and I appreciate any feedback that you have as long as it's positive. As always, stay adventurous, stay creative. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye everyone.